This video is going to cover the topic of order of operations with integers. Be sure the date and topic are at the top of your page. The essential question for this video is, how do we incorporate integers into order of operations? And the good news is, just the same that we've always done order of operations. Really, this is not a new topic or a new skill. This is just something that we're going to add on to what we already know. From your work in your past math classes, we should all be familiar with order of operations, but we'll review it here in just a moment. But this is the universal way that we approach math problems. And whether or not we are told specifically, all math problems need to be done in a particular order so that we all can come to an agreement of what the answer should be, right? Sometimes we have a problem in class, and if I don't call it an order of operations or PEMDAS question, people forget to use these principles and these rules, but this applies to all problems. So we'll start with a quick recap, right? We have the kind of phrasing that we use, which is PEMDAS often helps us, and I always put these little arrows here as a reminder. So let's just review what PEMDAS stands for. The P, of course, stands for parentheses, but we want to make sure we expand our idea of what that means. They don't have to specifically be parentheses. It could be any grouping agent, right? Brackets or braces, but that comes first. Anything that's grouped together, we start with that grouping. The parentheses tell us where to start. The E, of course, we think of as exponents, but again, we want to make sure that we realize this incorporates things like square roots or cube roots as well, right? Those fall in the same family. So we have E for exponents, but it could also be its related partner of the square root. Our M and our D, of course, are our multiply and divide. And we do those operations based on the order in which they appear in the problem. Much like our last step, our add and subtract, which also are solved in the order in which they appear in the problem. This does not change even when we are using operations that involve integers, right? So this is our standard setup. We do this no matter what, but now we're just going to be more formally incorporating integers now that we've worked with them a little bit in isolation. We're just going to throw them into some larger multi-step problems. So, for example, right, I have this question, -4 times, parentheses, 3 minus 9, all of that divided by a -2. So a couple things to think about. We have a natural grouping agent here, right? This division bar means that all of this on the top is kind of working together before we divide by -2, right? That's a natural group that we want to work with. And then within that, I have multiplication and subtraction, but I also have parentheses. So I'm going to start with my, let me kind of circle this in a different color here, start with my subtraction. And we have 3 minus 9, so we'd say, okay, I know my integer work. I know that that's going to get me a -6, and I'm going to rewrite what's left. And then I know that this has an implied invisible multiplication symbol there, so that means all I have left to do on this top portion is to multiply, so I'm going to circle that. And I have to think about my rules. A -4 times a -6 would be a positive 24. And then I need to divide that by -2. And that's my final step. Right? And I know 24 divided by 2 is 12, but it's a positive 24 divided by a -2, so my answer is -12. Same process I've done before. This is no different. We just have to be more mindful now of our integers and be careful of all of those rules and processes that we use for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. It can be a lot to think about. Let's try one. I'm going to put this up here, and we're going to try to solve 14 minus 28 divided by -4 times a -3. Pause the video though and see what you can come up with on your own. See how many steps it's going to take you to solve this, and then finally funnel your way down to your final answer. I'm going to do my snow cones, and then when you're ready, you can unpause the video and see how you did. How'd you do? Did you recognize that you needed to divide a positive 28 by a negative 4 to start? Then you needed to subtract 14 minus that negative 7. When you got a positive 21, you had to multiply it by negative 3, so your answer was a negative 63. Here's a short one, but it is a little bit tricky, and we want to just make sure we talk about it so you know what to do when you see it in the future. This has a negative 5 squared plus a negative 10, right? So not too much going on here. I'm going to do my exponent first, right? And so if I have a negative 5 squared, just over here on the side, I want to point out that if I have a negative 5 squared, that means a negative 5 times another negative 5, right? If it's to the second power, it means we have the same number multiplied by itself, right? So a negative 20, a negative 5 times a negative 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So make sure when you're looking at these exponents that you think what it really means, and so you can move forward from there. So then you just have a 25 plus a negative 10. And of course, using our rules of adding integers, we know that the answer would be 15, right? So just be mindful of that. I'm going to give you an example where you can do another one similar to that. So in this example, we have 2 times in brackets 5 minus the negative 3 squared. So think about what you're going to do first. This is another one where I want you to pause the video and see if we get the same result at the end. So try it for yourself before you check. How'd you do? Hopefully you realize that negative 3 squared would be a positive 9. And when you do 5 minus that 9, you get a negative 4. You multiply that by 2 and it becomes a negative 8. All right, and we have one last one, but this time I'm not going to do it on the video. We're going to be able to share it in class tomorrow. So come tomorrow with your answer to this question. Negative 10 divided by 2 times 4 plus a negative 15. Follow the order of operations. Think about what you're going to do with those integers. Have your answer ready. And remember that this video was asking us to think about how we do order of operations with integers. And of course, there's nothing special to it, right? It's just the same as any other order of operations. It just means that we have to be mindful that we remember all of those rules and steps when we are working with adding, subtracting, or multiplying and dividing integers. So be ready with your notes and the answer to this question when you get to class.